What in God's name is going on in here?
52.
All right, man, we're doing this shit, man.
Here we go.
Episode 34. We're going
What?
back in it, man. 34. 34, man. We're moving along.
Herschel Walker?
You can go Herschel Walker. We can also go Sweetness, Walter Payton. And we could also go, but I'm going to go with Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell.
Those thighs.
The Tyler
Big
Rose,
thighs.
man. The Tyler Rose, Texas boy, man.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the story about him. Man, I used to love listening to him talk about his growing up. They had specials on ESPN about him. And the thing I used to like hearing him talk about is that, man, I grew up in a house. I think it was like 13 kids and this small house. And they slept on the floor. And it's like shit like that. Those stories like that blow me away that he went from that. He could have went to be a criminal. No,
Look what he was. No, right.
He could have been criminal or he could have went and done something else. Dude, he fucking stayed focused on that football. And
He
went.
would you say he's one of the best to never win a title?
I think so. I think so,
He was
man.
good. He
'Cause
carried that team, didn't he?
That was all him, man. The Oilers weren't nothing without him. I mean, they had some other things. They had some receivers and stuff, but
He was
it.
he was
He was
a
it.
force. He was a force.
it was Earl Campbell to the right, Earl Campbell to the left,
Yeah.
up the middle. It was just, he was, like you said, them thighs, man. They were
Thighs,
massive,
man.
dude. I mean, there were so many times where yeah.
Some hot links.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he can make some weenies, man. He can make some hot weenies, man.
You know,
They're good.
he played
Yeah.
hard. He played hard, and he pays the price for it now, right? I mean,
Dude, he can
he's-
barely walk, dude.
yeah.
I think he's in a wheelchair and shit.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, is he?
dude, it's
I didn't
sad,
know
man.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad
Those
to see
guys
him.
played hard back then, man. Not that they don't.
Yeah, not that they don't now.
They
but,
don't now, but I mean,
it's like what
rub
was
some
it?
dirt on it and get
Yeah.
back in the game.
It's like
right?
I was reading this article, and I know we're not. I'm probably the only basketball guy in here, but it was sad to see fucking LeBron James. They had a report, and it said he's got a sore leg, so he's out this week. Like, sore leg, dude. Like, what's
A
wrong with you, man? Like,
sore
sore leg ain't
leg.
shit, dude. Like, I know.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas. These guys would go in with black eyes or massive cuts to their head or broken ribs and shit. And
Hey, Johnny, call in tomorrow. Tell him you got a sore
Sore
leg.
leg.
Sore leg.
I got a sore leg. I
Sore
can't.
leg.
make
I'm not
it,
gonna be able to be there today, guys. I
Got
got
a
a
sore
sore
leg.
leg.
The kind of money these cats make, man, it's just you should sacrifice your body, man. It's just I don't know. I don't.
I originally thought that's why they were paid so much money was because it was dangerous.
It's a
you can
dangerous
get hurt
job.
or
Dangerous
whatever.
sport. Yeah, man.
You know,
But now, I mean, if you're doing the situation where you have a sore leg and you can't come to work for a job where you get paid millions, why are you getting paid millions? That's
Hey,
just
Yeah.
unpopular
I
opinion.
use the
I'm sure,
analogy
but-
all the time. The race car guys, right? They strap in and don't know if they're coming home that night.
No,
true.
Never know, man. Fucking,
They get paid a lot of money, and they take the risk. They love it, and I kind of feel like football is entertaining, but
Mhm.
if it gets too protective, doesn't it lose the gladiator
Oh
aspect?
yeah, it loses it loses that. And I remember I probably said this before we did the podcast before, but it was Rush Limbaugh said this a long time ago, like 10 years ago. Before 10, 15 years ago, he said this. He goes, the way they were, everybody getting softer. He goes, I can guarantee you, first they're gonna get rid of Pee Wee football, they're gonna get rid of college football, and then before you know it, the NFL will be gone because they're gonna soften everybody up, and it's gonna be not interesting because they're gonna have so many rules, so much. I'm not surprised they're not playing with those things on their head, those helmet things. Those.
So
those
I
pad
watched
things.
the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
It was San Francisco and the Chargers.
Yeah.
And the Chargers quarterback, he ran.
Mhm.
So he ran and he got hit. He got hit like a runner would get hit. And they ejected the guy who hit
Oh,
him.
come on, man.
And they made him leave the game to go get checked,
Checked
even
out.
though he's looking at the ref going,
I'm good. Yeah.
man, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And that's what I said I'm afraid of. Dude. I think this is going to happen. I think eventually in the end, I think those contact sports will probably end up going away. I'm sad to say, but I think they will go away now because I love them, but I think they're just making them too soft. There's too many damn rules. There was a shitty call during the Cowboys game yesterday. I'm not going to get into that because I'll kill myself, but I don't want to get into that. But yeah, it's just there's just too many soft rules, and I don't like it. I like the old fashioned way where you could there was spearing. I love the spearing. I loved going for a defenseless receiver. I love all those hits, man.
Ronnie
Those-
Lott.
Yeah, that's the shit, man. The Ronnie Lott. Those hits were amazing, dude.
Hey, so we just started off complaining today.
It's
That's good, man.
I think we're complaining because we got something to deal with a little later, man. We got a little something to deal with later. But for me, I had a good weekend, man. We had Trent. You went out to Dallas, right? You went out to Dallas
Yeah.
to see the family, right? It's been a while since you see the family.
Yeah,
out
man,
there,
I
right?
got to see my my new nephew, and that was really cool. It was a good moment. All the brothers together, and it was fun, man. It was really.
You
good
don't
to
see the family too much, huh?
I don't get to see them very often. You know, we're spread out over 3 different parts of the state, so
Mm.
we don't always get to, you know, I'll get to see some of them, you know, pretty
Yeah.
often, but it's not very often that all of us are together.
Okay.
And this was one of those weekends, and it was really special. It
That's
was cool.
that's good to see the family, man. Like I said, I don't. All my family's here, which is Jennifer and our family. It's not much of us, like 5 or 6 of us, and that's
Yeah.
family for me. But I enjoy that. That's the way. Thanksgiving is coming up. It's that time of the year, man. It's
Yeah,
time
for
to eat
sure.
that turkey, man. I saw your family was hitting the road too. I saw uh,
Yeah.
they hit the
They
road
hit-
trip there.
They did a little road trip,
Little road trip.
college visit.
Oh,
Oh, there
the
you
boy,
go.
huh? Visit the boy, huh?
Yeah, they got to visit Brett,
Yeah.
and Brooke is doing a visit to Baylor.
Oh shit! Is that
There
where
you
you want to go?
Well, you never know. I mean, she's doing
Man,
several little
Baylor
visits.
Bear, man, that'd be cool, man.
Baylor. So she's visiting Baylor. So if anyone out there wants to send donations,
yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
Shit ain't cheap,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
oh man,
Hey, Waco's turned into quite the college town, though. It's it's
Waco is a cool
blown up.
town.
Yeah.
It really is. If you ever get
Yeah.
a chance to spend
Blown up.
time in Waco, it's a big little town.
There's
Or
a
little
lot.
big town. I don't know how you say it. It has a good feel to it.
It's a city that has a small town vibe.
Yeah.
And it's also
Lot
got a
of
lot of
cool stuff.
history, a lot of delicious. Waco, is it Waco? He's from, I think, Steve Martin's from Waco.
What?
Yeah, Steve Martin's from Waco, I believe. if
The
I'm not
wild and
mistaken.
crazy guy?
Wild and crazy guy, man. He's got the arrow going through his head. Yeah, he's yeah, man. Speaking of Steve Martin comedy and shit, we and Jennifer, we had a good weekend, man. We went to go see some comedies. I had some tickets for my birthday that I was cashing in this Friday, and we went to go see Brendan Schaub. A good, we follow this guy on social media, and he has a ton of podcasts. You know, he's a talented guy, uh, comedian. You know, UFC fighter back in the day. And yeah, man, we went to go check that out. That's why we got the whiskey bottle here, man. He was a great
Nice.
guy. Signed it for us. It was a great weekend. We had had tickets for Friday show. We went to the Friday show, and the thing that I respect about these guys is they don't go without noticing you. They remember you, especially if you go the extra mile. Like if you're somebody that shares their stuff on social media, all that stuff, man, they remember you, and it's just not like yeah, you bought my shit, whatever. Who gives a shit? I have a close his brother Jay Schaub that runs all the merch and stuff. Good guy, uh, good friends on social media. They were just so sweet to us. They brought it. They let us come back Saturday, just on the house there. They brought us back. Got to meet Brendan Schaub. My whole point with this is to say, man, there were some great comedians on that list, man.
Yeah.
There's some up and comers. I know you were talking about Kill Tony with David Lucas. David Lucas is a killer, man. That guy
Yeah.
can destroy a room. I mean, he can
I'll-
destroy. He can
I'll
come in
say
this room and
this.
destroy everybody in the room and roast everybody in the
Hey,
room.
let me tell you
I'll
how
say
the-
this. He's gonna be massive
Yeah.
in. I would say literally 2.5 years. Two,
Oh, dude,
2
he's-
years.
that was another guy there.
Yeah.
I want to tell you how the algorithm got me though, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But it's funny. This weekend, I had some Brendan Schaub things pop up on my
There you go.
on my social media
There you go.
feed as suggested,
Oh yeah,
and I liked them all because they were all good content.
yeah,
But isn't it
Funny,
funny? Isn't it
funny.
funny how
yeah,
you were there?
yeah.
And
weird,
and
man.
then it was getting fed
It's-
to me a little
yeah,
bit.
because
So-
I think it's all that.
but it was good. It was good.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was good content. So.
Yeah, no, and these guys are amazing. Like I said, he started his own whiskey company, own whiskey thing with the Tiger Thick whiskey. There, I hope we get a sponsorship. Jay Schaub, we're gonna clip this. Jay, I want to be a sponsor. I want to be one of the first. I want to be a brand ambassador for the Tiger Thick here,
Tiger
man.
Thick.
He was down there. Schaub was down there signing autographs and stuff down there at the Specs downtown, man. He was like I said, he makes time for everybody. Like I said, the guy is something else, man. He's they're class acts, man. Class acts. I mean, they don't have to give you the time they do, man. These guys are Hollywood cats. You know, they don't have to give you that time. They don't have to do that, but they did, and it was great. Like I said, David Lucas, fantastic comedian. Justin Elliott, another phenomenal. He was the host of the night. Justin Elliott. Follow these cats on social media. I'm sure we'll have somewhere on the little photo here. There'll be
Yeah.
links to them. And there was another gentleman by the name of King that was there. I think he just went by King. That was his name. These guys are all up and coming comedians that I think they're going to be in the next. Like you said, the next
Next big thing.
the
Yeah,
next,
next 2
5
years.
years, couple years.
Isn't that a
Huge.
weird transition to be from fighter to comedian?
Yeah,
right?
dude, and it's the thing, and that's the thing, and that's what everybody always asks. Was like, well, how'd that happen? He's like, well, I was always the jackass in the group while we were getting ready for fights or whatever the case may be. Kind of like Rogan was the same situation.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
fights, he was playing grab ass and bullshit, and his friends like, man, you got something there. You got a little funny. You got a little something there. So keep expanding on that. So he did, man. So like Rogan, Schaub did the same kind of thing. He hit the comedian scene, man. He hit the comic scene, man. Like he's huge now, man. He's getting there. I like it because they're gonna be doing a collaboration at some point with him, Eric Griffith, and Chris D'Elia, which is another big comedian that I'm into, and
Yeah.
I know Trent knows
Yeah.
Chris too as well. And but yeah, man, these guys, I just want to give those guys a nice little praise there, man, because they, like I said, they go the extra mile. They don't have to do that kind of shit because we're just I'm just a common worker, and I pay my ticket money, and it's cool that they acknowledge you, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. That's cool shit. So, like I said, we'll tag them in the show here, and tag the Tiger Thick whiskey.
Yeah.
And like I said, Jay, give me that. Give me a little sponsor there. Give me a little something, dude. I'll take some shirts and some
There
more
you
whiskey,
go.
and we'll push the shit out of it over
There you
here,
go.
man. But yeah, that was our weekend, man. We had a good weekend, man.
cool.
It was a good time to get out of the house, man. And then also to turn on that, man. Comedy and all that shit, sitcoms, man. We got into that comedy list, that sitcom list, man. I sent y'all earlier that
Hey,
sitcom list.
I looked at that.
You were pissed, right? I was pissed.
I was
pissed.
I didn't like it. There were
was
shows on the list that I liked.
Yeah, I didn't like number one.
Yeah, the list itself though was
Number one
lacking.
was Married with Children. Married with Children. I wasn't happy about that because the show was
show.
fine. It was fine,
it's a good show.
but it shouldn't be one.
Good show.
Not number one show.
I agree. I don't think it was number one.
The list was filled with good shows.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. All right.
So,
Let's see.
the top one, if I have to go down, the one that
Yeah.
grabs me,
Which one?
I like Newhart.
You see, I did.
I
Bob
really
Newhart.
like Newhart. And I'll tell you, as a kid,
Yeah.
I had a crush on that girl.
What was her name? Jesus
Stephanie.
Christ. Yeah. You know what it was? The joke, and that you always have to have some kind of a joke or a shtick. But it's my brother. What was it? My brother.
Larry is my name's
God damn it.
Larry and Daryl and Daryl.
Daryl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that Bob Newhart was great. I think his comedy, his timing was great, dude. It's just
You know,
very subtle. Like,
He
very
was very.
dry as shit.
I didn't discover the previous Newhart show until later in life,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
But when you discover Bob Newhart's comedy,
Mhm.
he is very dry in his delivery.
Yes.
He was like more of like a comedic genius, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he just has a way
very-
of delivering things.
You know what it was? He was also in he was in the Elf. He was right. He was an elf. He was an elf he was the dad, right? Like he was the head elf, I guess, the elder elf. And he was, dude, even in that, dude, his timing was just so good.
Facial expressions,
Yeah, dude.
everything,
It's like
right?
the pausing, it was just perfect, dude. His comedy timing was just impeccable, dude. Great shit. So I'm gonna say I'm not happy with number one at all. And like I said, I was telling Trent earlier, I said, dude, Cheers, that was overrated. I didn't like Cheers.
No,
I didn't care for Cheers.
No, you got to
I didn't
pump the brakes on that.
I didn't care for Cheers.
You're in the minority.
Cheers
there.
was
no.
good.
Cheers, fine.
Cheers was good,
was
really good.
It
Cheers was a great show. Honestly, if you take out Married with Children, don't even take it out. Just move it down. Move Married with Children down
20.
and move the number 2 and number 3 up. I'd be good with that.
I like
So-
number 6.
So where you going? What was your top three then? So if you had to pick three, the top three, 1, 2, 3.
Off of this list
Yeah.
or just in general?
If you could just off the list for now.
All right, yeah.
For now.
Let's stick with this list for
Yeah.
now. So my top 3 off of this list. Do I have to do this in any particular order or just 3?
Just top three. Like,
Okay.
just whatever ones.
Okay, all right. So I'm just gonna tell you the 3, and then we can put them in order if you want to. But Family Matters, Roseanne, and well, the last one's tough, but I'm gonna say probably the Jeffersons.
Man, we'd be
Yeah.
fighting over the remote.
Oh
in my
yeah.
house.
Oh, it'd be bad. It'd be rough.
Or, of course, we didn't have a remote back
Oh,
then.
yeah,
We'd
yeah,
just
yeah.
be fighting over the
Oh,
television.
knob. Fighting over that knob. Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, it would be. I'm pretty. I'll go 3 to 1, least to best. Alf would be my number 3 because I love Alf. I was a kid growing up. I was a kid. It was great to see. I was hoping that alien would crash into my garage,
Yeah.
or in my case, crash into my porch, on my apartment, as a kid. But I wanted Alf to come to the house. That he'd be number 1. 3. 2 would be Taxi because I love Taxi, man. I love all that character. You got man, you got a ton of characters in there, man. You got the guy from fucking Grease. I always forget his damn name. Jeff Conaway. You had Danny DeVito, man. You had so I'm a big Jew cat. So what's his name? What's his name? The main character.
Oh yeah, you're Alex Rieger, but
Rieger, yeah, okay, his real
Rieger,
name. He was in he was also in Jesus Christ, man.
Rieger.
I always go blank on these movies.
Andy Kaufman.
Oh yeah, Andy
Andy
Kaufman,
Kaufman,
dude.
yeah.
He was a class. He was a
Latka
yeah,
Gravitz.
yeah.
Ibby dibby da.
Yeah, and then Independence Day. The guy, he was in Independence Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
Alex.
Jeff Goldblum's dad.
Yeah, he was his dad. Yeah. And then for me, number one would be Mama's Family, because Mama's Family, I love
Thank you for saying that.
Mama's Family because of Carol Burnett show. That's where that show started. It was a spinoff from Carol Burnett show, and I think, excuse me, I just find Carol Burnett funny. She was the first, besides Lucy, besides Lucille Ball, she was the next comedian that I thought it was just. I think she had her spot in she had her time where she was great.
Yeah.
Hey, Alf, only 4 seasons.
It's only had 4 seasons, but it was just,
4
you know,
seasons.
He ate a lot of cats.
a lot of cats were eaten. A lot of cat was eaten. But you can only do so much with that character. I mean, it's just kind of a shtick. It's kind of a niche thing, but
Yeah.
it's just fun, dude. And that's what I like about 80s sitcoms. It didn't make sense. Didn't have to make sense. And that's what I like about it. It wasn't have to be real. Now you got shit it's too fucking real. It's too much bullshit. Too much
So
wokage.
so they've got shows on here
Yeah.
that started in the 70s
Yeah.
and bled into the 80s.
Mhm.
There's even some on here that started in the 80s and bled into the 90s.
Mhm.
So then my question is, where is
There's some missing shows.
there's some missing shows on here. Okay, I
There's
got 3
What were your three? What were your
that
grudge matches there? Grudge shows.
Saved
yeah.
by the Bell
80s?
started in the 80s.
89?
But you know,
Saved by the Bell's not on
would
there.
it be considered a kids show, not a mainstream sitcom? Not that it wasn't good.
Yeah, because he was.
Okay.
I'm just saying a different category.
Slater was amazing.
The audience was different.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Maybe
What was the other one?
in a way.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The Wonder Years.
Wonder Years, dude. Winnie Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, but Wonder Years was serious though. Weren't they hour long?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Sitcom. What? It was more drama.
Situational.
Okay. All right. Fine.
God damn it,
Nostalgia.
dude. What else?
Seinfeld. Didn't Seinfeld start in the 80s?
Seinfeld.
89, I think.
88 or 89?
90s.
89?
I think 90s.
89?
90s.
Then why is Seinfeld? not
But it
on
would be considered a sitcom of the 90s.
No, yeah, because it was full
It
time.
would be
yeah.
considered a sitcom of the
it's
there?
90s.
I'm just saying they got one on here that started in 89. So if that's the case,
yeah,
why
yeah,
is
yeah.
Seinfeld not on there?
True.
Okay.
True.
Okay.
But I think
Family Matters. They got Family Matters
Yeah.
on there without.
That's true.
You know,
That's
with
true.
Seinfeld not on there, that's
yeah.
Hey,
that's crazy.
You know, what we need to do is we need to pull up the wealthy gorilla list. That's
Yeah,
what
see
we
what he's
need
got.
to
See what he's got.
Seinfeld's off the top. I have to tell you guys, for me, very similar.
Three.
Very similar with you.
Yeah.
Newhart.
Yeah.
I said earlier,
Cool.
I love Newhart.
It was good.
The whole deal.
Good comedy, man.
I did like that blonde. I don't know where she is.
I gotta look her
right
up.
now.
I gotta look her up now.
Look her
I want to
up.
look her up
She's-
now. I forgot.
Who knows where she's at? I'm gonna swap my second and first. Mama's Family in second. Vinton.
Oh, he was
Oh,
the
man.
dumbass. He made
he was
keys,
a
man.
Dumbass. His
Made
wife
keys.
wore everything off the shoulders.
Oh yeah.
There were so many characters, and it was just funny. It was ridiculousness.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it was
good.
It was over
Again,
the top.
Yeah.
Funny.
Again,
It didn't make sense.
No,
it didn't have to make sense.
Like I said, Carol Burnett's character was always fucking. She was always a treat when she showed up on the Carol Burnett. She was always like, her and her husband were always. I think his name is, what was his name? Bent. No, that was what's his name?
Yeah, that was Vinton.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, her and her husband were always like hammered and shit. They were always the shit. They were always like the pieces of shit of the family. And I love those characters. I love those kind of characters. But who was number one?
Well, number one, Taxi.
Oh,
and
dude,
I'll tell
Taxi.
you what is so. Taxi reminds me of another show that's not on this list that I love is Barney Miller.
Yeah.
And the reason why
Yep.
is because they could film the whole show in this room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Most of Taxi took place sitting around
Same
a
room.
table
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the place. And of course they had a couple little shots outside. Barney Miller even did a better job with that because
Just the
it just all
office.
took place right there.
in their office
But-
there. Yeah.
It was just a testament of what you can do with the characters
Mhm.
and the dialogue.
Yeah.
And they never really are out of and it's really kind of what we do here. You know, it's genius what we do here. We don't move. We just kind of sit here
Yeah.
and
Sit here and drink beer and
have our own
eat-
comedy.
and eat McRibs and shit.
Not really, but no, but that's what I like about
Yeah.
Taxi was that it all took place right there. Danny DeVito.
Dude, he was good, man.
Yeah.
I missed the best part of Taxi. I'm missing it. Was Nardo, which is the redheaded gal.
Photographic Memory.
What's her name? I can't remember her name. I can't remember.
Julianne Geller. Am I close?
She was also in Cannonball Run. She was in Cannibal Run 2, I believe. Redheaded
I do
gal.
not remember this
Am
character.
I close on that name?
Oh, yeah,
Julie,
shit.
Julianne Hiller. And if you look it up, she has a documented photographic memory. Did
Really?
you know that?
No, really.
Like
Oh, like in real life.
no, she claims that on
Mary Lou Henner.
December 6, 1981, she can tell you what she had on that day.
She was amazing. She was amazing. She was
Evening Shade.
oh, yeah, right. But she was the reason why I watched. Besides Danny DeVito, she's the reason why I watched.
Oh yeah.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck was in there, dude. He had a
Tom
mustache.
Selleck, there you go.
Yeah, Tom Selleck. But yeah, she was something. I think in that era, she was 20 or 30, early 30s in that episode, and I think Tom Selleck was like 32. So it's weird how eras have the people look different in eras. Like
Yeah.
like 80s high school kids look like they're 50. It's weird, dude. It's so weird, man, how this shit works. Man.
Danny DeVito. He's now doing
Oh, fucking sandwich.
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's, man.
commercials.
I guess he does great on the commercials, man. I
Good,
love
yeah.
him. But yeah, my honorable mention that they didn't do, and it's probably a deep cut. Nobody really knows this show, and I love the show. I love the intro. I love everything about it. I love the main character, which is Ted Knight. Ted Knight was the bad guy on Caddyshack, and I always loved his characters. He was always great. Too Close for Comfort was another show that they didn't get. They missed that one. I think they missed that one. That was a great comedy. They went for a long time, and they went from
I don't
81.
remember that one.
It went from 80 to 87. 7 seasons, man.
Is
That's
that
pretty-
Valerie Bertinelli?
There it is. No, it was that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And that chick with the dark hair, she was in the Warriors. She was like the hot chick in the Warriors. The classic Warriors, the gang movie from
I remember that.
yeah. It was a great show. The intro music was great, dude. It was just a classic 80s TV sitcom, and I enjoyed it. And my favorite part about it is if you go and watch the intro, Ted Knight always he does this classic thing where he's on the couch and he flips back out of the couch. It's so good. It's so fucking 80s. It's just that is quintessential 80s the way he falls out of that couch, man. It's just a great scene. It's always in the intro. So good.
TV Guide era.
Oh yeah, dude.
Did you guys ever watch Punky Brewster?
I knew of it.
Why would I admit that I did that?
That's an 80s.
I knew of it. But yeah, I was always I always liked the sitcoms that had a great intro song. If they had a good intro song, I'm in, dude. I'm all in, dude. The intro song was good.
Hey,
Just like
Full House, man. Full House.
Booze and Buddies, dude. Booze and Buddies had a good intro. It was Billy Joe, I think, did the intro for the Booze and Buddies.
remember Nail?
Give Me a Break. Yeah, that was a good show
Yeah,
too.
give me a break.
Yeah.
I said Nail, but
Yeah,
that was her.
Give Me a
Yeah,
Break.
you knew it.
I knew it, man. That's a good sitcoms, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Man, so many good things. Like I said, it is true though. They did fucked up on the times. Like I agree.
Yeah, if you're gonna have Family Matters that started in '89, I mean,
Shoulda had
you don't have
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld on
Yeah,
there.
Seinfeld,
That's-
man. That's a monster. They were a juggernaut, man.
Yeah.
Seinfeld's a juggernaut, man.
That might have been number one on the
Yeah,
list if you had it on the list.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you're
We're
right. I
thrown
think
off
Gorilla. we need to check
Wealthy Gorilla's got a
Wealthy Girl's got a better list, probably.
they got a better list.
Hey, where'd you find this list?
IMDb. IMDb.
Oh.
Yeah, and I thought they were gonna have more solid. I thought they'd be more credible, but
Fact based.
yeah, apparently not, dude. Apparently not.
To be fair, it was a list based on ratings, I think. So
Yeah, and dude,
Isn't that hard to believe though?
yeah.
With that list, that's hard to believe though.
when did Tool Time start? Did that start? That started probably in the 90s.
90s, yeah.
Early 90s. Okay. I didn't know
Home
Tool Time.
Improvement.
Yeah, Home Improvement. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about
Yeah.
Tim Allen. Shit.
Tool Time was the show on the show.
Yeah, a show inside of a show.
That was his show
Yeah.
on the show.
I love that. He's a fucking great.
That was a great sitcom. I mean,
he was great, and I think it was great because he, just like Ray Romano, he based it off all his
Family
comedy.
Guy. Family Guy. You know, I mean, I'm saying he was not Family Guy the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
But he was a like
a
Ray.
man.
He was a Family Guy.
He was and it was again wasn't about the kids, wasn't about the wife, it was about him. Like it was about Tim, and that was great. I thought that was always
his assistant. What was his?
Al.
Yeah.
Al Borland.
Borland.
Al Borland was a shit, dude. Al Borland was a shit. He was my favorite side character. And then he also
Al
had
Borland.
and that's the thing. He always had good. I love good.
Side characters.
Yeah, like
Wilson.
Wilson was great. Wilson was also amazing, dude. Wilson was.
Do you feel like, and I hate to sound like a back in my day kind of guy, but do you feel like back then the shows weren't as agenda driven as just trying to be funny?
It was just funny, man. Like we go because I even watch now. We watch Tool Time on. I guess we watch on. Is it Tubi? Oh, Hulu. Okay, I was trying to throw Tubi one. I was trying to throw Tubi a like there. But Hulu. Yeah,
I love that you call it Tool Time, by the way.
Oh, it's because I was thinking about Tool. I was seeing the show because we've been watching it. Because the reason why is because we've been watching it like before we go to bed, and I'll fall asleep with it on. I keep hearing, welcome to Tool Time. The girl goes because it was. Well, there was
that was Heidi Klum, wasn't it?
no, it was a fucking what you call it? Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson was she was the second one. Heidi, the dark haired girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Pamela Anderson, man.
Her name was Heidi on the show though.
Pamela Anderson was on there. She was on Tool Time, man.
I have to ask you about one. I don't think you like it. I think you said something. MASH.
I do. I think I would like it now. As a kid, no, I hated the intro. I mean, I knew this
because we didn't understand it.
Because we didn't understand. Also, too, when that fucking song came on, it was like, take your ass to bed, go to bed.
Wasn't that during that time?
It was Vietnam, right?
No, it was the Korean conflict.
Oh, Korea. Okay,
but it was during that time on television, so
yeah,
it's very odd that that's not on a ratings list.
Yeah, right. Because that should be in the time frame, I think.
I mean, I don't think that's a sitcom.
Shit. Well,
okay,
so,
I guess I'm counting it as a 30-minute show.
Yeah,
not
a sitcom. But what's his name would dress up in a fucking dress and shit. He was in a dress and he was being a buffoon. I forget his name.
They hit some hard issues.
They did. They did.
They hit some hard issues in that show.
If you're gonna dress up in a dress, that's comedy to me. That's good shit.
It's like Facts of Life, man. They were hitting hard issues.
With Tootie.
Natalie and Tootie going through it all, man.
Huh? Tootie? Yeah. Facts of Life. Yeah.
Facts of Life was on there, wasn't it?
No,
I don't think so.
No. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
IMDb dropping the ball, man.
Always dropping the ball, dude.
We'll just edit this out. We'll edit this whole section.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I love.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to start coming up with our own lists.
Yeah.
Put them out there.
Put them out there, making sure it's fact.
It's fact based.
Fact.
Well, we'll run it by a wealthy gorilla and see
if he's okay with it, man. If he was okay with it, dude. Let's dive in, man. You ready to dive into this shit?
I want to. Okay,
let's dive in.
Johnny, why don't you give the listeners a little heads up on what we're doing here?
If you're a longtime listener to the 52, you know that among the many things that we like in life, some of the things that we like fine barbecue. We talked to Corkscrew.
We were on location.
Had those guys here
at Tejas.
We had Tejas.
Yeah.
We were on location at Tejas.
Yeah, man.
We are connoisseurs of great barbecue. So, carrying on with that theme,
naturally, I mean,
and we had to hurry up because this is a limited time deal, right? I mean, am I wrong? The commercial said
they tell me. That's what I heard.
They say it's limited. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So, we had to get that rib, that McRib.
The McRib's back, man.
The McRib.
She's back, or it's back.
So this is our third foray into
prime barbecue.
Yeah, premium level,
high quality
barbecue,
high quality meats. And then when I say meats, I mean meats because I was looking into I took a deep dive into the.
It's plural for sure.
So are you going to tell us about this before we eat it?
No, we'll go afterwards. We'll talk about it afterwards. After we get it digested and goes down.
Awesome.
Then I'll go deep dive. But I'll let you guys.
All right. I've never had a McRib. I've never had a McRib. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Here we go. Let's do it. All right. First of all, too much sauce. There's too much sauce. We're working on this together here. That's way too much sauce. All right. This is going to get all over my
hey, watch out for the bones.
I think it's like seedless watermelon. What are we thinking?
I already got sauce on the table.
We're good. We're good to go. We're good to go. We're good to go.
Here we go.
Is it like you remember, Johnny? Just like you remember. Huh?
That's a tasty burger.
That's
just as good as that Big Kahuna burger.
Big Kahuna is that Hawaiian joint.
I don't know what to say. All right.
All right.
I'm going to be completely honest.
Don't lie to us.
The only thing I can taste is the sauce. I can't taste the meats.
So
it's amazing how they took the bones out of that rib. Like
I know. It's amazing how they do that. How they deboned that son of a bitch. So I was taking a deep dive. And so how they came up with this thing, how they came up with the McRib, where it came up with his roots. So there was before that, he was created by the U.S. Army to deliver low-cost meat to our troops. So it was created there initially. It was initially created for the U.S. Army. And then McDonald's ran with it. McDonald's said, "Okay, well, we'll take it from here. Back up. We'll take it from here." So, hold my buns. We'll take it from here. So what they did is McDonald's was having a shortage with chicken at the time. This was in there was a nationwide chicken shortage, and McDonald's stepped in and they said, "Well, we need to make something. We need to bring something in to our menu to make up for these McNuggets not having enough McNuggets." So that's what they created the McRib, man. It's now McRib's a thing now, and when it's what I gather, it's ground up pork shoulder in the shape and to be in the shape like of a small rack of ribs. But then I also went even deeper. I went Jack Gusto, and I went deeper into the ocean, and I found out it said,
I ate mine, so tell me all about it.
yeah,
Now.
we'll go into it. I got a deep dive here. We go.
Trying to eat it quick so I don't set it down.
They use tripe, they use stomach, and then they use heart meat.
All right.
They use that. That's what they add to as filler. That's what they use to make the filler. But
Stomach?
it's tripe, stomach, and heart meat.
Look, and we probably 100% know that to be true.
Oh yeah, it's like a
I
hot
mean,
dog.
It's just,
like a hot
just
dog. It's like a hot dog. It's lips and assholes. We all know what it is. I eat the shit out of what are those little weenies? The
Vienna sausage.
I mean,
man.
that's not high quality. That's not we're not looking at filet mignon. There's tripe. There it goes. It looks like
Hey,
coral reef.
That's menudo, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
You,
that's that coral reef.
you ever have a little menudo?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, menudo will fix you up after you've overserved yourself.
Like I said, I'm gonna bite one more time of this McRib here.
So, is there anything that you read in your dive that talked about their limited edition
Oh,
deal?
so
What is it? Just marketing ploy, right?
McRib was initially released in 1981, and 500 calories. Just so we're counting calories and watching our figures. 500 calories. I think it was 40 carbs. 40 carbs.
I got most of it down.
It's good though. It's what it is. It's what it is. Man.
Since you pulled
So
up the picture of that stuff, I was like,
so what it is, it's they say it's the limited time it's going away, but it's not. I said depending on the sales of this year, he may come back. It may come back.
it'll come.
It'll come back. Depending on the sales, it may come back. So
It's
it's not
Hey,
bad, huh?
Look at my boy pushed it away and it came back again. Look,
Pulled me back in. They pulled me back in. Yeah, dude, the McRib. Like I said, it was interesting to find out that the U.S. Army, man, that where they were trying to, that was their creation, man. Find another substitute for meat and shit for our soldiers. It's funny though, our soldiers get bullshit, and then the fucking criminals get a nice hot meal, and I can go off on that, but I'll keep that to myself. But that pisses me off. It's like you're trying to find substitute for meats for these guys that are out there, fighting for the old freedom there, and then you got these. Well, it's not bad. It's like I said, it ain't bad. I mean, it's just
I will say that the Texas prison system
Mhm.
several years ago,
they giving them less.
they tried a product called VitaPro, I think it was, as a meat substitute, and it was really terrible. I mean, it was a terrible product,
Really?
from what I understand, and they did try that, and it was so bad that like they had internal revolts.
What?
Yeah. So we need to look that up.
No, we'll look it up. We definitely look it up.
VitaPro is the name.
'Cause I
of
know
it.
that I watch 60 Days In. I watch all these prison shows. I watch all these damn things, and man, I see these son of bitches eating, and I see a Salisbury steak. I see good stuff, man. They're not hurting too bad in there, and they also get the snacks, man. They also get they also get their what's that called? Where they get their they can get snack the commissary. Yeah, they get their commissary, man. You get chips, you get hot Cheetos, you can make burritos and shit.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've had a Salisbury steak many times in a TV dinner.
Mhm.
I've never been in a restaurant where Salisbury steak was on the menu.
It's never front and center, huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
what is a Salisbury steak? I mean, I know what it. I guess it's just. I don't know.
Steak.
It's
Beef stomach and
Tripe.
with
Was
that
in there,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
brown gravy on it.
That brown gravy, but it was good though, man.
No.
And my favorite part was always getting the corn and my little brownie. That was my thing.
Oh,
corn
wait,
was
you,
always
you had the Hungry Man dinner.
Yeah.
With the extra.
either you get the
extra
corn,
compartment.
either you get your corn in the brownie, or you get your corn in the little
Potatoes.
apples.
The apples.
The
Yeah.
apple pie,
Because
little
you had
apple
the Hungry Man had the extra little
Oh, yeah,
compartment.
there's three three
Yes.
components. Yeah. But my thing was always the Salisbury steak. That was mine.
That's
I
the
loved it,
go-to.
man. I
Yeah.
love Salisbury steak. What was that? Okay. Was it Salisbury steak is a
Why do they call it a Salisbury steak? James H. Salisbury,
there you go.
There you go.
chemist.
A chemist.
Ground beef patties.
A
Yeah,
chemist made this.
He was making shit, man. Dude, I heard a while back.
And TV Dinner said, "This sounds great,
It's
man."
some work, man.
Yeah, we can whip this up in a lab.
Yeah. I think
Sell that shit wholesale.
if you ever see ZZ Top's TV Dinners video, that's what TV Dinners reminds me
it?
of. It's like a little creature coming out of your.
I do the fried chicken TV dinner.
That's not bad.
once in a while,
That
too.
wasn't too bad. The fried chicken wasn't too bad. The skin was a little rough, but I didn't mind it.
The turkey and
was good.
dressing.
Oh,
with
the turkey
with
was
the round,
good.
round
It was-
slices.
I remember
of
that
turkey.
turkey was good, man. It was juicy. It had a little, wasn't dry. It had a little.
I never did the TV dinner thing.
No,
What?
No, I never did
Really?
the TV dinner thing. Yeah.
so good.
Hey, he was too busy microwaving his pizza roll.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
it was, dude.
Okay, so when I went to purchase
Yeah.
the McRibs, I went inside
Mhm.
of the McDonald's, and the McDonald's has changed inside.
Yeah.
Uh,
You mean there's no ball pit anymore,
Yeah.
right?
There's no ball pit. There was nothing to climb, and there weren't those little spring deals that you.
Oh yeah, I missed
Yes,
those.
dude.
I missed those, man.
I wanted one of those, but there's a lack of people wanting to take your order.
I believe that shit.
Machines, dude. Did you order it from a machine?
No, I didn't.
Kiosk.
There were obviously the machines.
Yeah.
There were 2 registers.
Uh-huh.
Both said closed.
Mhm.
But I walked up, and luckily the lady walked up, and I guess I looked like the guy that didn't want to use the machine. So
She was in
she
a
said,
good
"Can I
mood.
take your order?" And I did. But that's the trend now, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, Trent, but I think COVID bullshit. We were talking about this the other day. I think with the COVID bullshit happening, and everything. I think the plus for us is I don't have to go and interact with nobody. Like Target, you can order on Target's thing.
Yep.
You pull up, you let them. Hey, I'm here. They bring the shit, put it in your car, in your trunk. You're out of here.
Have you been to the new the Target drive-through thing?
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Jen, you did?
We do it all the time
Yeah.
because it's just like you don't have to deal with anybody. They come out there with the shit, and they're fast, man. It's
Yeah.
quick.
So good trend.
I like it. I like it because I don't want to interact with anybody. Because if I can go in and out without having to interact with anybody, I'm good.
But
that's just
Do you feel like you lose customer service? Maybe?
Yeah. I guess when that comes to like groceries,
Hear me
go
out.
ahead.
Hear me out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes and no. I think there's an opportunity for customer service to be even better because that's all they have to worry about now.
Right.
If you order from a machine and something's messed up and you bring it back, it better be damn good customer service because you're not having to worry about anything else. You're only worrying about fixing mistakes that the machines made. So I mean, there can be some some positives to it. I feel like, but I think I know where Johnny lines up on this,
Yeah.
and I think I might lean more toward that side of it, where it's like I want to talk to somebody.
So I grew up working in an auto parts store.
Yeah.
And that was my high school job, And I guess it was just instilled in me by the owner of the auto parts store that when someone walks through that door, say hello.
Oh yeah.
Go ask them if they need help.
Yeah.
Do these things. And that was just part of this is, and he would say, this is what we have to do. This is how we earn this business.
Right.
This is what we do.
I was always told your greeting to a customer is where the sale starts.
Oh yeah. And kind of like Johnny, I grew up in my first high school job was working at a full service gas station. You pump gas.
Full
you fill
service, right?
Air the tires up,
gone,
air their
a gone
tires,
thing,
check their
yeah.
oil. I did all that shit, man. So I come from a background of customer service. Even to this day, the job that I have now, that's all I do is customer service.
And you're very good at
Yeah,
that.
and-
You say hello
yeah.
and goodbye.
And you hit the
to
door. You hit the
people
door
all
and
the
say
time.
hello. You said as soon as somebody hits the door, you better say hello, and because
Yeah.
that's just the way I am. Because I want I like that folksy feel. I like that but in return, in my everyday life, I want it. I want things fast. I'm in a hurry. I got things to do, so I don't have to interact with anybody. And just like at when you go to Kroger or HEB, there's no more lines. I mean, there's no more registers. No more. You go to fucking self checkout, and I
Yeah.
prefer that, man.
I do prefer self checkout over.
Just to in and out,
because
in and out.
you can like steal stuff. Right?
That too, yeah. No, but you're in and out, man. I love that. I love being
No,
in and out.
I genuinely think I can do it faster than whoever's.
Oh yeah,
behind
that's
the
what I'm
counter.
saying. Yeah,
So
in
I'm
and
like,
out.
no, I'm just gonna like scan this stuff,
Yeah.
put it in there, and get out of here.
Do you remember being a kid when before the scanner? Do you remember the ladies in the grocery store that had their hands on the keypad?
Oh, dude, they were getting it.
Just
Numbers.
just
Oh yeah.
it in.
Oh, Hobby Lobby does that, right? Hobby
Oh,
Lobby
they
does
do?
that. Oh shit, Hobby Lobby, dude.
That was a
I
skill.
should have known. I should have known Hobby Lobby, man.
That was a skill.
They take off on Sundays. I should have known. They're off on Sundays. I should have known, man. They go the extra mile.
They probably
Yeah.
say hi when you walk through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are kind of shitty. But again, the thing, the customer service thing, the thing that drives me nuts about customer service in and you guys probably know Home Depot and Home Depot and fucking what's the other one? Lowe's, dude. Golly, man, that's the worst customer service.
Really?
Yeah, in the line when I'm
Yeah,
looking like
yeah.
for example, if I'm looking for work gloves or something like that, I don't know. They're probably over. They're probably over there.
probably
They're
on
probably
aisle
over there,
13.
and I'm all over the damn store and shit. So that's where I'm sucks. But for the most part, like when I go to like I said, when I go somewhere like when I'm going on a date night or something like that, I go to a bar or I go to like a brewery or something like that. If I go somewhere like that, I want that customer. I want to be treated like
So
yeah,
back it up
yeah,
for your watering hole.
yeah.
If there was a kiosk
Oh,
where instead of walking up to the bar, someone just plugged in what they wanted and it was just brought to their table,
mhm.
do you think people would utilize that?
No, and that's so there's a brewery in I don't want to badmouth anybody. I'm not badmouthing this brewery or anything, but there's one in Beaumont and they do that. They have kiosks. They have you get a card, you get a prepaid card,
Uh-huh.
and you can scan it and you get you can get an 8-ounce pour or 6-ounce pour. You don't have to deal with anybody. They
Really?
have the beers all on tap and you can pour your own little beer. And I
It
forgot
just
a buddy of mine told me
loses
it does because you lose the talking to the bartender, bullshit with the bartender, talking about your date to the bar. That shit, you lose that stuff, and I like that stuff. I enjoy it. But when like I said, when I go to a date night, I want customer
Yeah.
service. Go to a restaurant, I want that customer service. But when it's everyday life shit like grocery store,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit about seeing
a
somebody.
high-end restaurant.
Oh man,
Part of the show or part of the experience is that excellent service,
yeah,
right?
dude. Yeah, the waitress, the waiter,
Personality.
That excellent service.
Personality. you know?
the
And
waitress.
that's where like that's where you make money as a server is like what's your personality, like what type of service are you providing
Yeah.
to to somebody else.
But what you're saying is when you go into Target to buy a new pair of underwear and a
Socks.
toothbrush,
Yeah, I don't need nobody.
you don't need any.
I don't need anybody, dude. I don't need them. I just bring me that shit over here. Bring it out here. Especially if we're like I said, with the lifestyle we live. We're always in a rush. We're always late. Not late, but we're always going to something. We got a lot of things going on in the day. A lot of things to handle. So yeah, you want to just show up. Bring that stuff out.
$1 million idea. Here we go. We're going back to Lowe's. Okay.
Oh shit. Oh
Now-
shit.
We need to develop an app that will you can allow it to follow your location. You go into a Lowe's and because it's following your location and they have it uploaded, there's a map of the store in the app. You type in what item you're looking for and it pops up and shows you where it is
That would be cool.
in the
By
store.
GPS
Yep.
leads you to it.
But I'm talking about.
It beat me to it.
But Lowe's, I don't think Lowe's has that shit.
Yeah.
It's like I know to the professional that goes there every day, they know where the wood is at, they know where the drywall is at, they know where all
Yeah.
the nails are at. But sometimes guys that don't go to the Home Depot or whatever every day, I might want to know where the work gloves are at or where's the tape measures at, like where the little shit. Like I don't know, I'm not there every day, so that's what I'm saying. Those are the kind of things that I want to ask, and when you ask them, they're just like, maybe over there. It's just like, they give you a fucking bullshit. And they got you running in circles. And I don't know. I just don't care for that.
I don't know, man. I just started here yesterday.
But it's
Yeah.
basically what it is. Most of the time, it's like, I just started. I don't know shit.
Or they'll say check in and then name whatever department.
Yeah.
Oh, check in lawn and garden.
Yeah.
It would be nice if that guy looked, you know what? Follow me.
Yeah. Let's go check it out. Let's go try to find that shit. But no, they just like, maybe over there.
And then it goes to show you, even if he didn't know where it was,
He tried.
Fine.
if he was looking for it, you'd feel good about it.
Oh yeah.
tried.
He's trying.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
trying. He's earning his money. He's earning his cash. He's earning his wages either.
So, what do you think about the places now that, and I think we can all agree. We talked about you go to get good service.
Yeah.
You have waiters and waitresses and different things, and gratuity is a big part of
Oh yeah.
their deal. What do you think about the fast food restaurants that just you go and get your deal and they add optional gratuity right at the end? What do you think about that?
I know. So I'm gonna Trent. I know Trent. We talked about this one time. We were at a restaurant together, and he told me about this one time. He's like, "What's that thing you say? You put the dollar and you take away from the."
Oh, okay, all right. So
He's got a good.
all right, so I've got two. There's two things to this. The first thing is, I've always said, and this is coming from somebody that, is a teacher and sees kids all the time, whatever. I've always thought that a good way for someone to build character, a good way for someone to honestly really find out what type of personality they have, is to be a server.
Yeah.
It forces you to interact with people that you otherwise wouldn't interact with, and teaches you social skills, and teaches you that w- there's a there's a correlation between how you treat people and how much you get paid.
Yeah.
And I think there's value to that. Now, as someone who used to be a server, used to be a bartender, used to be a server, I made really good money. And I realized that a lot of it is just because I have a very charismatic personality, and I mean that translated into tips a lot of times. But um when you go into a restaurant where it's like super busy, or there's a lot of whatever. I've done this before at and I caught shit for this from some friends, but like, where it's super busy, it's very competitive as far as like how often you get service because of the amount of people. Instead of tipping at the end, which I would still tip at the end also, but I would bring some extra cash, and I would tip every time I asked for something from the server. So I would order something from the server, whether it's a refill or whatever. They come back with a refill, tip a couple of bucks, whatever. And they come over and they ask if we need anything, and we don't need anything. I'm still tipping them a couple of bucks because they came over and talked to us.
So there's a virtual stack, or there's a stack it up as they do good deeds.
So they just keep stacking money while they're serving us. And I caught stuff for that, from some friends, because they were saying like, it doesn't seem like you really care about them as a person. You're just, whatever. And part of me goes, well, I mean, in the moment, I'm not paying them for being a good person.
Yeah.
I'm paying for them
Server.
to be a good server.
Yeah, server.
And so I'm literally paying for the service, and that's just the way that I looked at it. 100% of the time, 10 times out of 10, I got the best service of any table in that restaurant, because they knew every time they came over, they were getting some money.
Yeah, I bet.
No, I'm a big tipper, man. I'm a huge tipper. And
You're also a huge Jew cat.
Hey,
Big Jew cat, dude.
big Jew cat, but I'm a big tipper, man. I love kosher pickles. But no, I'm a big
Jews
tipper,
like
dude. Like, when people do, if they're doing their job, they're on point, man. Man, I'll make sure you get taken care of, man, because I know what that's like, man. I know that, being in the service industry that I'm in, man, being in that service, that your tips do matter. It's a part of it. And if you're going the extra mile, I'm gonna go make sure that I go deep in my pocket, man, because I know sometimes it's a thankless job sometimes, man, because some people are
You want to
rude.
show your appreciation.
Some
for
people
the
are
work
rude as
that
shit and they
put
don't
into
tip,
it.
man. Some people don't tip, man. It's bullshit, man. Like
Yeah.
at a restaurant, people don't tip, and it's just like, man, what the hell's wrong with you, man? These
Yeah.
people are working, they're hustling.
Below minimum
good.
wage.
If they're
Below
good.
minimum
If
wage.
they're good. Now, if they have an attitude and they're like, oh, what do you want? It's like, oh, okay, well then we're in trouble. We're off to a bad start.
Were you guys ever servers? I mean, I know that you
Yeah.
you work in the service
Yeah,
industry
yeah.
now, but I mean, did you ever wait tables or anything?
No, I was always, but like I said, I worked retail.
Yeah.
That where and you learn
Matters.
the customer's always
Yeah,
right.
it matters. Yeah, it matters. They are.
Did you ever wait tables?
No, never did. But like I said, I always understood that the customer's always right, even if they're
So-
wrong. You just give them the benefit of the doubt because they're here, they're out, they're having a good time. I don't want to fuck up their night. I don't
Yeah.
want to screw up
Or
their-
you lose their business and
Or
all
tell
their
somebody
friends'
else.
business
Yeah.
over $5.
Yeah.
or a
yeah.
little shit, little shit.
So if you're listening to this and you've never like waited tables, or whatever, understand those people that are waiting on you at your table. Johnny made mention to this just a second ago. They only make a couple of dollars an hour. Literally, I made $2.18 an hour when I was a server.
It's the only job.
Almost
it's the only
all of
job
my
that,
money
that
was
you
from
can
tips.
pay someone below minimum wage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made almost all of my money off of tips. So when you don't tip them and you think, oh well, they're getting paid anyway.
Yeah.
No, they're not
Yeah.
really getting paid anyway.
Right.
They're not really getting paid.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's just the right thing to do. It's only if they're doing their job right. If they're on point, I'm on it, dude. I'll go deep in the pocket.
Even if somebody does a bad job,
I still give them something.
because you never know. Maybe they're just having a bad day or something, whatever. Like I get it,
I'll give them
still
something.
I'm not going to tip as high,
No.
I'm not going to tip them as high as somebody that I know is working their tail off to earn, to earn that tip or whatever. But I don't, I would never stiff somebody because,
Oh, no.
because it was bad service or whatever,
No,
because
I would never do that. Never.
because I know that that's their job, and I would give the benefit of the doubt and trust that they're not that way all the time. They're not that way with everybody else, and they're having a rough day, and they're just trying to pay their bills.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. No, I'm all about it, man. I'm all about Big Jew Cat. No, I'm all about it, man.
Yeah. Also, kind of contradictory for you to be a Big Jew Cat and also tip really well.
Yeah,
that's
he's like
sketchy.
he's like
That's scary. That's scary what you're doing.
Hold on to
That's a
my
scary
cash,
line,
man.
That's a scary line. They're walking a tight line.
Real
Walking that thin line.
tight line, dude. Really towing the line there.
Towing the line there, man. I know you were saying you were up in Dallas this week, and we
Yeah.
were kind of getting into that. Before the show started, we were kind of just bantering there with
Yeah.
talking about where we were at and whatnot. And before the mics kicked on, we were talking about you were in Dallas, and it was funny. Not funny. I'm not meant to say funny, but when I think Johnny wrote me around 9 o'clock Saturday night, and I was just like, "Holy shit, man!" I said, "This can't be real." Um, so we got Johnny sent me a text, and he's like, "Dude, the B-17, man, that B-17 you have on the wall there at the bar at your watering hole there, you got the picture of the B-17." He said, "Is that the one?" And I said, "Yeah, man, that's the." I wasn't sure. But after looking into it, that was the one we
Texas
know.
Raiders.
Actual
The
one?
Texas Raiders from right
Texas
here,
Raiders,
Conroe.
right here, based in Conroe.
So in 19,
Wait,
yeah.
That's the actual one.
Yeah.
that
So
wrecked?
so in sorry, I got my numbers here. In March of 2017, they moved. It was used to be at Tomball and Hooks. They used to have it there. Now they moved it to Conroe here. So it was in Conroe. So for a while, it was here. It was right here in our backyard in Conroe. You could go over there. You could get tours of and look at it. You could even fly in it, man. You could sell
I
tickets.
follow their Facebook
Yeah,
page,
yeah.
and they would talk about different flights.
Yeah.
And if you know that plane,
Mhm.
what is it, Keith? It would carry a crew of 10.
Yeah,
A crew of 10. So what they would
Excuse
do
me.
on different flights is you could buy the gunner seat,
Mhm.
or you could buy, a seat where you could sit in that
Yeah.
gunner's seat and get that
and
feeling of
take-
flying.
yeah,
And
take you
that's
up there.
so it flew around here and over the lake
Yeah, they
many times.
So what it was is the reason why we had a close my watering hole where I work at, we had a close relationship, excuse me, with them. I know the Nancy and Dennis. They are one of the. I spoke. I haven't spoken to them yet because I know they're busy with what's going on right now. But beforehand, we used to talk all the time. They bring the whole crew in there. Even some of the gentlemen that were in the loss, I remember some of those faces coming in here, and they used to come in here because the first beer was always on us when they came here. The crew would come over after a long day of work because these are all volunteers that are working on this plane. They're not paid. This is all volunteer work to work on this plane.
Let me pause you for
Go
just a
ahead, go ahead.
second. I don't mean to interrupt you,
No, go
but just for a point of clarification for anybody that's listening to this, there was a tragic accident at the in Dallas at an air show that was there. There was a plane that was stationed out of Conroe that was up there in an air show. Mid-air collision, crashed.
Yeah, 6 lives
And,
were lost. 6 lives were lost.
Yeah, and 6 lives were lost as a result of that. And that's what we're talking about.
yeah.
So if you hear us reference a plane or people or
Yeah.
you know,
It was
whatever, that's what we're talking about. This incident that happened in Dallas.
it was the B-17, the Texas Raider.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. The Flying Fortress, Texas Raider, and anyway, so they were down the street from us here from our watering hole here. So a couple years ago, I was like, hey man, it makes sense that our watering hole has a particular logo that goes with this plane, and it needs to be as a pinup model. And I need to go introduce myself to this. So I went to go introduce myself, and that's where I met That's where I met Dennis and Nancy, and they're like in charge. They have like fundraisers and stuff for the plane to 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 get donations and stuff. So I met these folks, and I invited them over to our watering hole, and we would have them over, and we would have a good time, talk about the plane. They would tell me stories about this and what they do and how they raise money for it to keep it going because it's all volunteer. There's nobody there. There's no government, no government involved.
Labor of love for
No
these
government
guys.
involved, yeah. And they told me right off the bat, there's no government involved to take care of these planes. Um, so when I heard that, I was like, man, I want to be involved in this. How can we help? And we would spread the word about, hey, you can donate to these guys anytime.
Yeah.
So that being said, we were really close to them. And we've been close to them ever since. So hearing this was rough. So it was a war. So it was built in 1944. There was 13,000 of these built in 1944 for World War II.
You know what? That's
13,000.
not that many.
It's not. It's
That-
not 13,000.
that's- when I heard that number,
Yeah.
I went, wow,
Mhm.
that's not that many.
Yeah.
For a war. They built them just for World War II, man. And so they did that. And then now there's only 10 left. And after Saturday's tragedy, there's only 9 left.
Yeah.
There's only 9 of them left.
So the plane that's out of Conroe that crashed in Dallas,
Mhm.
it was literally one of only 10 remaining.
One
Yep,
of
of
10.
10.
I didn't realize that.
Just
Wow.
I
Yeah.
did read, that there was a stat, and it's actually on their Facebook. If you look these guys up, Texas Raiders beat B-17,
Yeah.
and it has an about. In the about section, it talked about how many were made. It talked about how many were lost in war,
Yeah.
how many were lost in training exercises and different things, how many just
Mhm.
kind of hit the junk heap
Yeah.
later,
Sure.
and then it was a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaine was
Yeah,
a,
he
was
made it. It made it.
Was
They
a
made it through
survivor.
all that. So yeah, I mean, it was a big deal for us here at where I work at here. It was a big deal because they were close. We were close to them. It was a
Yeah.
close family. We shared, like I said, we shared numerous beers with these guys, and I don't know if these are the exact pilots that were flying it, but like I said, the faces that I saw on the post look very familiar to me. Because like I said, there'd be like there'd be tons of them. They come, it'd be like 20, 30 of them would come at one time because it was the whole crew that worked on the planes. The
Yeah.
mechanics, the this and that. So a lot of the faces were familiar, but some of them,
Stuff
but
like
I
that.
can tell that I could tell that some of those faces were very familiar to me. But like I said, Dennis and Nancy were really close to me, and they like I said, they weren't involved in the airplane. They were involved in like I said, the charities, getting things involved in the events and things. So that's why I got really close to them. And it was just something. When you sent me that text, I was like, holy shit, man, I can't believe it. And then I watched the videos on it, and I was just like, the videos are terrible, man. I hate them. I hate watching them.
obviously, the human life
Oh,
loss
absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
a paramount as far as the tragedy, but it's a piece of history that's
Man,
gone as
yeah,
well.
man. It's gone.
I was watching NFL this weekend,
Yeah.
and of course, a lot of the NFL broadcasts had paid homage to the veterans,
Sure.
for Veterans Day, and they made mention of World War II in this era of playing. That only 1% of the veterans are still with us.
Jesus.
That's a
Yeah.
that
Jesus.
generation, what they call the greatest generation, is they're passing away. And the sad thing is there's a lot of amazing history that's
Yeah.
that's passing away too.
Rushing
And
over,
this
right.
plane was a way to hang on to that, and younger people and younger people were getting involved with
Yeah,
that.
they were, man.
So it's really a shame to lose that.
Oh, yeah.
You guys may know this. I don't know, and I don't mean for this to take away from
No,
the
no.
incident or anything like that. But just out of curiosity, do we know if this particular plane saw battle at all, or
from
was it
what-
a training plane, or
From what I gather, I think they all did. I mean, I think that this was a big deal because it got, like I said, I did a deep dive on it. And it got this particular one got, before it went to Hooks, it got a $700,000 facelift kind of thing. They
Yeah, yeah.
painted all this kind of work on it, and then when it came
restoration? thing?
restoration, yes,
Yeah.
couldn't get the word out. CT kicking in, and then when it went from Hooks and it came here, and then when it came here to Conroe, I think it got another $300,000 restoration project.
Yeah.
So it was involved in the war and whatnot, and it's just excuse me, it's just it was just sad to see it because I was like, damn, this is close to home. We should be making as the city, we should be making more of a I don't know, tribute to it. I
More
think it's
more
kind of a big-
people should be aware.
yeah, I guess that's my whole thing. It's just because it's a big deal. It's just a big. It's just like I said, the history thing. Again, not to take away from the people that passed away, but it's just
Yeah.
it's the whole thing, man. Because I saw the remains of it. It's just like a wing left, and it's just like shit, man. It's like that's the worst thing to see. Like I don't know.
I saw the video, man. The video is hard to watch.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't watch it. I just watched
Video's
the
hard to
one
watch.
time, and I watched it, and that was it because I just wanted to see what happened. I want to see
Yeah.
what happened. But yeah, man, shit. And then those things, and I know those things happen. Freak accidents happen at those air shows. Those things happen. It's just they got a little
On
too
a-
close, and it happens.
On a lighter note,
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys grow up going to air shows?
I
Never been.
I never been. I never been.
I mean, that was one of the things that we did growing up. Like as a family, we'd go out. I mean, I've been to. I mean, I don't know. It's too many to count.
No,
like
I-
air shows or whatever, and it's fun. Man, I saw the Blue Angels, come out and do flybys and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And they'll have biplanes that are doing air stunts and all that kind of stuff. You'll see like stall outs and stuff. Really kind of cool to watch,
Oh,
So, I mean,
absolutely. Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine like being in an air show and seeing like a massive plane like
But
this,
you
like,
know-
flying over.
The reason why it's so intriguing is because there's a lot of danger involved.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It's true.
I mean, it really.
There's a lot of danger.
There's a lot of danger
Absolutely.
involved in that. I mean, it's
Imagine doing those maneuvers while somebody's like shooting at you. You know what I mean? Like in an actual like real like battle
And-
situation.
And to go back into it, I got to see
Terrifying.
Yeah, I got to go into that particular B-17. I got to go into it and walk where they drop the bombs. There's an area where it's like a little catwalk,
Yeah.
and the catwalk's 6 inches wide, and it's enough just for your foot to walk. And then there's bombs where they would just drop them.
Hey, it wasn't built for comfort.
It wasn't built for comfort. It wasn't built for fat boys. Because I think the military was smaller than, because like I said, the chairs were like whatever, like the airport, like the.
They didn't have the McRib.
Yeah.
No.
They didn't have the McRib.
You've flown a lot airplanes, because they were telling me like on an airplane, it's like half the size of an airplane because it's like a little metal seat,
Yeah.
and the guys are just sitting there, and there's like you said, there's like 10 of those guys, and they're all bunched in there, and they're just working, and they get up to drop the bombs and shit from there. And it's just all manually done. It's like
Yeah.
it was in that cockpit. Is like
To hear that thing come over, because I've seen it come over
Tiny.
this area, and to hear those 4 engines
Yeah.
running in unison, it you immediately look up because
It's a unique sound.
it's not like anything that flies over,
It's
right?
a unique
Never-
sound. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sound of those 4 engines, it's sad to think about it,
Yeah.
but hey, I'm glad I got to see it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I got to see it I got to go. I got photos of me in there in the cockpit, and where they were the gun area. It was just it's so small, dude. It's like how they move around there, dude. It's like how they and they were
Hey,
at a
and to
high
think-
pace moving around like they're
Think those guys got in that little those little seats, loaded up,
yeah
and said, "Man, I hope we make it back."
we
today."
come back home. Yeah,
We're coming back.
and like I said, they did, and it was just like I said, that for me to see those things was just I'm so grateful that I got to see that. And again, thank you, Dennis and Nancy, for that.
Yeah.
Memories.
What else can we say? I mean, glad we brought it up.
That's a
Anyway.
That's
But yeah, that's a sad shit to end on. I hate to end it like that, but
yeah.
I like being a dumbass and a buffoon, but I had to talk
But you
about
know
it
what,
because
though?
it's history.
If we can inspire anyone that's listening to go look it up, look it
Yeah,
up, and see what
absolutely.
it was all
Yeah.
about, because
Absolutely, man.
what the memory of their whole point of working that plane and doing that labor of love was to carry that memory on
Carry the memory on.
of what that generation did, what that piece of equipment did. So if it inspires anyone to take a look at it, then
Absolutely, man.
that helps their legacy.
Keep it going, man. And like I said, there's 9 left, so we still got 9 left, and lucky 9, man. We got 9 left, so take care of those. I think I got nothing else, man. That was rough. That was a rough ending. But, I'm good though. It's fun. This is always cool, man. I love doing this. McRib, man, was great, man.
Yeah, we got.
That
We
was
got
a great-
Hey, we
that was-
packed a lot into this episode.
that memory, that smell of the McRib, it took me back. Just like
Yeah.
what was another thing? It was another thing that took me back. This kind of got me going because I was I got my son Little Caesars the other day, and getting that smell of Little Caesars reminds me of a kid when I was. It was like this. I was, I don't know, 16, 17. This was summer of like 95.
Yeah.
And that smell of a Little Caesars pizza still takes me back to being a senior in high school, man, where it's like, or I was 17, 16. I can't remember what it was. But it takes me back, that smell, the Little Caesars, and what was the other way? Subway. Subway always takes me back to being a high schooler, a senior in high school, because that's my buddies used to work in those shops, and going to hang out with them before they get off of work. I'd go there, and that smell takes you right back, man. It's just, and that's what that McRib did today. Is like I smelt it, and I was like, damn, man. I remember when I had it back then, man. It was just like, It's just I get it. I get why people like it. I can see why people like it. You know, despite all the what's in it and all that bullshit, I can see why people like it.
Yeah.
Man. And then what you were supposed to do, you know what we were supposed to do, Trent? We didn't do
What's
it
that?
We didn't do it the right way.
What's
We were
that?
supposed to take our fries and dip it in the salt
Dip it in the sauce?
like that, and put fries on top of the thing. That's what we're supposed. That's the fat shit way to do it, but that's we'll
We'll have to run it back.
next time we'll have to run it back. Yeah,
Run it back.
because it ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. It's
Hey,
gonna stay.
Is it coming back?
It's
though?
coming
Are we
back,
gonna-
dude. It's coming back. It's the Rolling Stones of fucking sandwiches. It's the Rolling Stones of sandwiches.
Farewell
man.
tour
Yeah.
every 5 years.
And I'll chalk it up to Jennifer. She gave me that one earlier, so
Yeah.
I'll chalk that one up.
The
to
Rolling
Jennifer.
Stones, yeah.
Rolling
Are-
Stones is
are
the
the
fucking
Fast
same.
and Furious of sandwiches.
Yes, yes. Quarter mile at a fucking quarter mile at a time.
Fast and Furious
Fucking
20.
shit, dude.
The McRib.
No, man. I'm just one last thing, man. Just again, I'm hoping for that damn sponsorship to come through with the 8-man. Troy Aikman, come on, man. I'm supporting the Cowboys even though they're fucking up big time. Come on, Troy. I'm drinking the 8. I'm drinking the 8, keeping the calories
Yeah.
down. And Jay Schaub, man, one last time, Jay Schaub, thank you so much for the Tiger Thick, man. I appreciate everything y'all did for us. Brendan Schaub, we thank you guys for everything. I know we got ones of listeners, but hopefully one day Brendan Schaub will listen to us one day. So hope maybe that's the fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
There we
man.
go.
Yeah, all good, man.
Yeah. Johnny,
anything-
anything else before we head out?
That's it, man. Good times. Good
Yeah, man.
times. We
Oh,
broke
yeah.
out
Episode 34, man. We did
Episode
we did a lot.
34, man. Earl Campbell,
34.
that sausage, fucking Earl
Nice.
Campbell sausage, man.
We packed a lot in this episode.
We did. I felt like overall we kind of had a serious tone, but
Yeah.
but I think that probably was from we were talking about this plane before we got started.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
kind of
It is a serious tone. So
It kind of screwed me up there. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for the time, and I always appreciate you doing this with y'all, man. This is fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Let's see. Thanksgiving's coming up. Turkey Day's coming up. I don't know. We gotta look at our schedule, see how it goes, but I'm excited for Turkey Day.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that green bean casserole. Bring it on.
All right, guys. This has been the 52 podcast. We'll check you next time. Adios.
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.